Hey guys, I am DC, your host of Barside Jive Live. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020, and I'd like to welcome each of you to Barside Jive Live, our home edition. Yep, we are still home due to China virus, but I'm excited that you guys chose to hang out here with me once again in my home studio this evening. You know, guys, over 328 million people in the United States, 29 million just in Texas, over 2.6 million people in Dallas County, over 2.1 million people in Tarrant County, and only 145 dead so far in Dallas due to the China virus, and only 104 in Tarrant County. That's less than 300 people that have passed away from this nasty China virus. Yet, we've stopped society. That's right. We have totally stopped society for 2 months because of 249 deaths. Well, I think it's time we get back to normal. Now, this show happens at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday and features original singer-songwriters as well as some of the very best cover and tribute bands in the whole wide world. And just be patient a minute, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can now download my shows on Apple iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Twitch, Spreaker, Google Play, TuneIn, and Deezer if you're over in Europe. Or anywhere you can download cool content, we will be there. Also, if you're just now listening to us as a podcast, maybe just audio only, you can go to vocalnow.com, and remember it's vocal with a K, vocalnow.com, and click on the Barside Jive image in the Streaming Now area at the top of your screen. You'll come right into the show. Of course, all my content is on demand for your convenience on my YouTube channel at Barside Jive Live. Barside Jive is sponsored by the legendary Zoo.
The Zoo.
On Vocal.
The world's best rock, and can be streamed 24/7, 365, once again at vocalnow.com. Tonight, special treat in store for you guys. I have Midnight Blue in the studio, but first, Sammy Hagar says concerts can't wait for the COVID-19 vaccine. As the music business tries to figure out when concerts can resume, Sammy Hagar believes it's best for the economy if they return as soon as the number of new cases of coronavirus begins to go down. Although his summer tour with Whitesnake and Night Ranger has yet to be officially postponed, Hagar admitted to Rolling Stone recently that tour ain't going to happen. But he's already had discussions with the promoters and owners of outdoor venues regarding how to proceed before the pandemic is fully over. Sammy says, it's the flu, I guess, unless there's something I don't know, he said. So there's a season where it's just going to go away. I mean, someone is going to get it always. It's like the cold or pneumonia. Someone is always getting something. Some live, some die. Hagar noted that he's already talked to the promoters and the powers that be that own those places. I've said, what if we put sterilization things all over the place? Hand sanitizers too, and even hand out face masks. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when it first starts opening back up. In a big open-air setting, only sell 10,000 of 19,000. Whatever, I'm fine with it. So Hagar's been self-quarantining with his wife, spending time in their two homes. Their children recently spent some time with them. Despite recommendations regarding social distancing, he insists on hugging his kids. I'd just soon die if I can't do that, he said. Give me the disease and let me die if I can't hug my wife and my children. I see my kids and that's it. I really can't believe it. That's part of it. I can't stand it. The desire to resume normal behavior extends to his work, where Hagar said he'd rather personally get sick and even personally die if that's what it takes. We have to save the world, this country, from this economic thing that's going to kill more people in the long run. He added that this shutdown is going to make that escalate 10 times, and then we're all going to be sick, and you can't even walk down the street. I would rather see everyone go back to work. If some of us have to sacrifice on that, okay, I will die for my children and my grandchildren to have a life anywhere close to the life that I had in this wonderful country and the freedom we enjoy. That's just the way I feel about it. I'm not going to go around spreading the disease, but there may be a time where we have to sacrifice. We used to go to war for our country where hundreds of thousands of people died to keep our freedom and keep this country economically where everyone has a car and a home. Those days are changing, but that's the way I feel about this whole thing. I'm not real big on dragging it out unless we're all fucked up and there's no way out. Well, Sammy, my sentiments exactly. Now let's do some remembering. The top 100 rock albums of the 1980s, because I love the 80s. Number 8 on my list is Empty Glass by Pete Townshend, 1980. After 15 years of writing mostly for Roger Daltrey's voice, Pete Townshend discovered his own on his proper solo debut. He also matched The Who's highest charting single, When Let My Love Open the Door, reached number 9. And I got a few birthday shout outs, guys. Big day for birthdays. Here it is, the 19th. Grace Jones was born on this day in 1952. Dusty Hill of ZZ Top was born on this day in 1949, Dusty. Whoa. Phil Rudd, AC/DC, born on this day in 1954. And Pete Townshend of The Who, born on this day in 1945. Well, happy birthday, guys. And that is rock and roll and wraps my rock news for this Tuesday. If you like my rock music news, then my Tuesday and Thursday shows, 7:30 p.m. are the place to come. If you like rock and roll history, then I cover that too in my daily dose of rock music on my YouTube channel. Just search for Barside Jive Live.
Yay! My old yeah.
My live music showcase is sponsored by Hip and Hippie. Hip and Hippie is a planet-loving company known for its high-quality, earth-friendly, 100% recyclable candle line and natural body care products. It's no wonder eco-supporting people love Hip and Hippie, hipandhippie.com. And as I said, I've got guests in the house. Midnight Blue is here. Got Patti, got Chris. Midnight Blue is comprised of 3 seasoned musicians, one of that's not with us tonight. But Chris Osborne he is an exceptional guitarist and vocalist. He didn't say that, but Patti did. He sings lead and backing vocals plus rhythm and lead guitar. You'll hear that tonight. Jimmy's not with us, but we'll talk behind his back. He is also an exceptional guitarist. He plays lead like no other and even sings backing vocals as well. Now, last but not least is Patti. Patti has been back in Dallas-Fort Worth from 5 years. We don't know from where. Maybe abducted by aliens, because we love alien stories here, but we'll let her tell us about that. But she came back in 2018. She decided to start performing again after an 8-year hiatus, and luckily Chris and Jimmy agreed to work with her.
My word.
Maybe they bribed her, or maybe she bribed them. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Now, I got a side note for you that both Chris and Jimmy are members of Time Thief. Wait a minute, Time Thief. I had you guys on my show. Didn't I?
Yes.
Didn't I, Chris? That's right. I forgot about that. You guys were on my free. You guys came to the studio. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay. It's all coming back to me. I remember, God, I mean, I've had so many, they all run together, but I remember you guys now. That was fun. Anyway, Chris is the leader of his own band, Saving Yesterday. That's cool. I didn't know that. And Patti also sings backing vocals for Little Skinner, but I didn't know that. So some I know, some I don't know. Some I'm going to find out in a minute. But let's welcome from Midnight Blue, Chris and Patti to Barside Jive Live. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Hey. Well, hey, it's my pleasure, man. I wish it was in the studio, but hey, that'll come soon. Next time you'll be in the studio.
Sounds
Midnight
good.
Blue will actually, yeah. We'll get you booked in there sometime this next year, and we'll do it again.
With all three of us, hopefully.
Do what, Patti?
With all three of us, hopefully.
All three of you, yeah, because you want to play. You want to play. So how's it going for you guys?
You know, we're lucky that we didn't lose our day gigs, so we've all been working.
Okay.
I'm working
So
from home.
Y'all have regular jobs then?
Yeah.
Outside of music.
Yeah. Well, they have other bands. They have day jobs. We fit Midnight Blue in where we can and enjoy that acoustic thing.
Right, because I know that Time Thief plays a lot, and then you've got this other band I didn't know about, Chris. So I'm sure that in addition to your regular job, you stay really busy. And Patti, I knew you were singing backing on Little Skinner, and you guys play quite a bit before all this happened. So
yeah,
if you've got a day job, I know you stay really busy. So
I do.
So what do y'all think about this mess?
My opinions on this whole situation are not very politically correct.
Well, mine aren't either.
I'm not a follower. I'm a critical thinker of my own, and I think it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I just can't believe we allowed our government leaders to shut down the freaking country over this virus. I mean, you're not going to keep from getting it anyway. I mean, if you wait a year and you get a vaccine, they're saying
I think that the vaccine is probably the worst idea ever.
Yeah, probably so. I still don't get a flu shot, and I haven't had the flu.
The last time I got deathly ill was 2011, and it was days after I got my flu shot. Hadn't had one since.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's awful. You know, guys, usually I start off with some questions, but let's just play a song for them, get them hooked in early.
Okay.
I want to do a song?
Old school stuff.
Old school stuff. It's a song I do a lot.
Okay, cool.
Her signature, her trademark song.
Oh, is it? Okay. It must be Fleetwood Mac.
It is.
I knew it.
You're on the edge of your seat, weren't you?
Here you go again, you say you want some freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should say the way you feel it. Oh, listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you loved and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. And friends, they only love you when they're playing. So say when they will come and they will go. And when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. And you'll know. Now here I go can I see the crystal vision? I keep my vision to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you like yourself. Dreams of loneliness like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder makes happen when it's raining. And sailors only love you when they're playing. So stay with them, they will come and they will go. And when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. And birds, they only love you when they're playing. But they are women, they will come and they will go. And when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. And you will know. Oh, you'll know.
I didn't make any faces.
You didn't make any faces at me.
That was good. I was making the faces at
What
her.
are you grinning about?
He usually makes faces at me when we're those kind of things all
Oh.
the time.
On the stage.
And
I was good. I didn't do
I've
it.
learned to ignore him really well.
Yeah, you can see she did an excellent job of ignoring me that time, didn't she?
I didn't look at you.
No,
Just long enough
I could tell she was trying to crack up about something.
He's
She's high.
I don't know. Yeah,
You
my
guys,
kids are going,
you
She's
guys
talking to her
get along really
phone. She's like, "You on drugs? Give me some."
Yeah.
oh, I was not.
You guys get along really well, don't you?
No.
So the first time he joined me on stage, I'd already heard him play,
Yeah.
but I was the first incarnation of Midnight Blue here in Texas, started to be a blues band. Didn't quite work out, but he came up and did this song with me and something else. What else did you do?
There's no telling.
Anyway, and it was so much fun. I knew this was my friend for life.
Yeah.
He does this all the time, Jimmy. But yeah, I'm very blessed to have him and Jimmy as the people that back me up. And
Yeah.
stop it.
Now tell me now, did you reach out to these guys? Was it your idea?
It was his, actually.
Oh, was it?
Remember? Because I needed a guitarist.
It was her idea to do the duo, and I suggested the trio because, in my opinion, acoustic shows are really cool because they're super chill. But if you're not doing something upbeat and entertaining, they can get boring really fast.
Yeah.
So I suggested the idea of a trio, one guy on rhythm, me, and guitars and Jimmy on lead. So
Right.
it might be a little more entertaining than just, strumming chords and singing about your personal feelings.
Right.
I'm good at this, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at singing all the slow, sad ballads. And he's like, no, Patti, we can't do all those.
Gotta wake them up.
So who contacted who?
Well, I called him in a panic because I lost my guitar.
Should have heard what she called me.
I didn't call you anything bad. Anyway, and I'm driving home from work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on 121.
Hi.
I was not high. Starting new rumors. Anyway, and I said, what am I going to do, Chris? My guitarist quit. I need a guitarist. Who do you know? And he says, I got an idea. And he said that, and I said, great, we can do this duo. And he says, no, I got a better idea. Let's do a trio. And that's how it happened. We were already, friends, just talking back and forth. I'd gone to see Saving Yesterday at least 5 or 6 times already.
Horrible band.
It's a great band.
Worst
oh my God.
Band ever.
They are not.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how that worked.
Okay. Okay, cool. So tell me something, Patti, that's kind of quirky about Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is the most OCD or COD CEO person I've ever met. I'm not that lead singer that won't carry things. I'm not that lead singer that won't help.
Right.
Don't ask to help him. He is better doing it himself. He does it that way. If anything breaks, it's on him, is the way he feels.
Right.
Just the heavy stuff, and just when everything's at the truck, because there's only one way it can go in. I'm waiting on my van. I have a van to haul all my stuff.
Right.
But since the COVID nonsense happened, I can't go pick my van up. So I'm carrying the PA around in a truck, and have to Tetris everything in a certain way, or it's not going to fit.
And it's a wonder to watch. Believe me.
Well, now does this OCD thing extend to everything? I mean, you're trying to figure out where to go eat, your whole life.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, because I'm in shape, rounds of shape, so obviously I like to eat lots of stuff. So I can pretty much. I was raised on Mexican food, so that's always going to be my first choice. But as far as my super CDO is when I'm on stage. I can't stand chords on stage because you have to dummy proof everything when you're just playing around the DFW area. You're doing local shows. Somebody always wants to come up to the stage, either on the stage or close to the stage, and interact with the band, which is great. But I don't want anybody tripping and falling over stuff. So I'm like super OCD about that kind of stuff.
Right.
And my house, I'm pretty OCD about my house.
Okay. So this is all about Chris, is this OCD thing. So, hey, Chris, what's your favorite Mexican food? Like tacos, enchiladas, brisket taco? What is it?
Probably chilaquiles, elote, and migas.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the authentic stuff. If you can't pronounce it, that's what I'm eating.
Where at?
Homemade from individuals that I work with.
No restaurants.
I'm in Grand Prairie, and there's a restaurant called Los Lupes about 2 or 3 minutes from my house, and it's the real deal, and we're on a first name basis.
Dude, I remember Grand Prairie. Do you remember the Monterey House in Grand Prairie?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it still there?
No.
Dude, when I was a kid, I drove an ambulance in Grand Prairie. For a couple of years, I was an EMT, and we'd go to the Monterey House all the freaking time. Yeah,
the authentic places, there's Juana Taco and La Hechicera is probably one of my favorites.
Wow.
Which means the sorceress. Like the sorceress, the kitchen witch, La Hechicera. And, man, their stuff is good.
Is it? I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, there's one in towards Loop 12 on Main.
Yeah.
And there's another one on South Carrier. And there's actually another one right across the street from Dallas Cowboy AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
There's that hotel right there across the street.
Right.
Behind the hotel is a little strip, and there's a Hechicera right there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and
close.
If you like authentic stuff like mole and lingua, and stuff like that.
Good mole, yeah.
And they've got great.
Dude, I'm glad we did this show. I learned so much. Hey, Patti.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, Chris, tell me something quirky about Patti.
Quirky about Patti. I don't know. I don't really think she's too quirky. She has a phobia about lyrics. I'll say that.
I do.
She?
I am terrified I'm going to forget them. I always have to have a cheater in front of me, basically.
There's 59 sheets of lyrics on the floor. You just can't see them. The entire notepad is full of lyrics. I don't even know what the songs are.
just in case, okay, so the worst part about working with these two is that they make fun of the fact that I'm older.
Yeah.
Than they are.
Yeah.
Not by much, but
as you can see.
Yeah, he looks so much older than me now. He didn't used to look older than me. Something happened during COVID. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But
oh, I know.
I can't remember. I have CRS. I can't remember shit. I will forget him in the middle of the song every once in a while. And
we kids are on stage. We asked her what her name is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. Have you not seen the stages, the stages, these big bands? They've all got the freaking lyrics and letters this big.
I know.
I mean,
I love
it. Steven Tyler, you know, they got some pretty simple songs. I mean, really, Sweet Emotion. I mean, really, there's nothing intricate about those lyrics. But yet, they've got them in those monitors. You know, it's like, so hey, I wouldn't feel bad about that at all.
It's just one of those things.
As long as it's not a music stand. On the
not.
floor or a video monitor down low, that's great. But a music stand, ooh.
We don't put music stands, and I promised him I would never do that. I just have a little small tablet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He doesn't like it much, but he deals with it. And he did like it the day he forgot to bring the set list so that I have.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
He rarely forgets anything, honestly. He normally has everything, the OCDs.
Right. Of course.
CDO.
Right.
But every once in a while, it came in one time and he'd forgotten mic stands. He only had his, and I
had two and we needed three.
We needed three. Luckily, I had mine in my trunk. I mean, I carry it anyway, but
wow.
Normally he has everything set up for us. He is, not only is he this great singer, he's also a songwriter, just plugging him a little bit. He writes some great stuff. But anyway, he's a great sound guy, too. He understands what we should sound like.
Yeah.
I never wanted effects on my voice. He's finally convinced me that I need a little bit here and there. It just always sounded weird to me, but he found the right mix for me. So made me feel good about it. So
Right.
And I was really insecure after 8 years of not performing much.
Yeah.
Or any.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, where were you? Where'd you come back from?
So when I was 18, I graduated from Boswell High School out on Eagle Mountain Lake and went to California. I was going to be a rock star. Yeah, that didn't work out. So
fire gold in their hills.
That didn't work out so well. I kind of moved around Denver, Indiana, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Went back to California in 2000 exactly. Pretty much started working 911 there. Then worked at an airport through 9/11 and stayed in California until 2015. Came back here. Then took another 3 years before I decided to get back into music. I had a band, several bands in California and Sacramento area, two of which were both called Midnight Blue, and I just kept transitioning into something different.
Wow.
Yep. The name comes from me.
So and why that name?
We couldn't find a name, and I drove a Midnight Blue Chrysler Sebring.
Oh, gosh.
That's where the name came from. It was my mom's car, and she gave it to me. So, and my mom was an amazing musician, so I take all my inspiration from her anyway.
Patti and the Chrysler was already taken.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
It worked. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool name. There's a lot of marketing, cool marketing stuff you can do with that. Hey, give us an idea of the catalog of songs that you guys do.
Man, we are all over the place. Acoustically, we're doing stuff. Sometimes I bust out some Glenn Campbell from the 60s.
Oh.
We do a lot of country, and we do a lot of 80s and 90s rock, and we have no idea. We're just all over the place.
I like to say we do everything from Patsy Cline to Alice in Chains.
There you go.
And a whole lot of stuff in between.
Wow.
Because he loves Alice in Chains. He's making me love it. And Patsy Cline's kind of one of those musicians for singers that singers adore. And he indulges me and lets me do them.
Well, Jimmy indulges her. I don't know the song, so I just get off stage and act like I'm running sound when they do Patsy Cline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jimmy knows every country song.
Jimmy knows every song ever written.
Yeah, but those old country songs, man, he knows them all because his family is all.
I'm writing new material right now, and Jimmy's already learned it.
Is that right?
Before I've even written it, he knows it.
Wow. So you guys are trying to, I guess, with your trio, you're fill a niche. And are there certain venues that you guys are going after as far as performing?
The winery scene would be perfect for us.
I kind of figured that, yeah.
Sunday afternoon patios, Saturday afternoon patios. We're not trying to take that Friday and Saturday night thing from anybody because he's got a full working band. Time Thief is a full working band. Right. This is just, we'd love to do private parties and those kind of things, but really the patio kind of thing.
And I think Sundays and Mondays too are good days for you guys. I mean, not just exclusively. I mean, I think Tuesday and Wednesday too, but I mean, on the winery circuit, there's so many of those now. Mm-hmm. And even the breweries.
Yeah, those too.
We're doing acoustic stuff, so there's a lot of opportunity for you guys. I guess you're only limited by your day jobs and your other bands, but that's cool.
And sometimes that is, honestly, we haven't been able to take certain things just because they have commitments, and I'm not about to try and push it, nor will we do it. So.
Right. Well, it's good that you've got this project because it can certainly, it can certainly enhance what you guys are already doing. I can see that. Do you want to do another song?
We can't.
I'm
a little worried about it. I'm a little worried about it.
Do you have any lyrics for anything besides Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, we have Alison Krauss. Well, normally I'd be using my phone, honestly.
We're going to flip over to page 192 here. Just give us a second.
Hey, Alison Krauss would be great.
All right.
Awesome.
Pray I don't mess it up. But I'm going to read the lyrics probably. Do the whole thing.
That's okay. No one will notice.
Nobody's going to notice.
Just hold them down low. Just hold them low.
Nobody's going to notice us for it.
I don't have my glasses on because I'm old. By the way, DC, you and I missed our birthday. That's when we met a year ago on our birthdays out at Poor Shack, and Time Thief was playing.
That's right. Man, you got a good memory.
Well, it's our birthday. We were both maybe a little intoxicated.
Oh, not me.
I was.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it had to be you. And because you were intoxicated, you just thought I was.
Well, yeah. He's making fun, but that was a good birthday. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think this
a lot.
I think we got on Patti stage that night at the Time Thief show.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They are very, very accommodating and let me sing a lot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I hear banjos.
Are we playing this?
I think so. Are you guys ready for us now that we've been silly?
A one.
Station. Thank you very much.
Baby, now that I found you, I won't let you go. I built my world around you. I need you so, baby, even though you don't need me now. Baby, now that I found you, I won't let you go. I built my world around you. I need you so, baby, even though you don't need me now.
Did
forget I stood right and applied my time. Spend my life looking for somebody to make me feel like you. Now you tell me that you want to leave me, but darling, I just can't let you. Maybe when first we met, I knew in that thought of mine, you were someone I couldn't forget. I stand right and abide my time. Spend my life looking for somebody to make me feel like you. Now you tell me that you want to leave me, but darling, I just can't let you. I built my world around you, I need you to know, baby, even though you don't need me now. Baby, now that I found you, I won't let you go. I built my world around you, I need you to know, baby, even though you don't need me, you don't need me. I never can get through a whole show without laughing a lot.
My whole show should mean one song.
Yeah.
Watch this. Hey, grass is green.
Shut up.
Hey, Chris, when did you start playing guitar?
So I was 6 years old, and I was taking guitar lessons after school, and they taught us chords in alphabetical order. So A, then this thing, and marking in. It was 1978. I wanted to play Kiss, and they were teaching me, so I quit. And 13 years old, I started drawing pictures of my cousin's hands as he would play. And that's how I learned chords, by just drawing pictures of his hands. So I started playing bars when I was 14, and here we are 983 years later, and I'm still doing it.
Wow.
Hold on, let me fix my teeth.
So did someone encourage you, or you just on your own, you decided you want to do that?
Man, it's in the blood. I've got, on my mother's side, I've got so many relatives that are in the Grand Ole Opry, or that were. They've passed on now, but it's in the blood. I've got so many musicians as family members. It's ridiculous.
Are you guys native Texans?
Yes.
Born and bred.
I know I don't sound like it, but I am.
So Patti, did you just wake up one day and decide you wanted to sing?
So my mom was this amazing musician over in Dallas for many different churches, and did a lot of civic theater. I was on my very first stage at 5 playing Gretel in Sound of Music. Wow. And Mom has always said that I started singing pretty close to like 1, 2 years old. Mom had a perfect ear. I got a little bit of her talent. My sister plays piano. My brother plays bass. My granddaddy was a great singer. But yeah, I've been singing since I was 5. Yeah. Officially on a stage.
You guys had it in the blood. You guys had it in your blood.
Oh yeah. I 50 years on stage.
Yeah, wow.
So with an 8-year hiatus.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what do you guys do? What do you guys do when? Yeah, it's a great answer. What do you guys do when you're not doing music?
Like for work or just in general?
Well,
wait, is there anything but music?
Is there? I mean, do you like to sew or fish or?
No, I actually go out and support a lot of different bands.
She does.
I am at somebody's show almost every single weekend.
Really?
Sometimes 2 or 3 shows in a night.
She's on drugs.
Wow.
She doesn't sleep.
Wow.
You're perpetuating.
Wow.
But Chris does
Chris,
music.
you should write her. You should write her. Or Patti, you on one of those dating sites?
No.
You should get on one and let Chris write your bio.
No. Absolutely not.
This show just got really interesting.
Oh, they always do.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
No,
Yes.
so far you've met
Yes.
a couple that I've tried to date, and you were like, no, they are not right.
So Chris,
bag of blue right here for you.
So Chris, what else do you do with your time?
I show up at Bell Helicopter, and usually I work on music. And then I come home and I get something to eat, and every now and again I mow the lawn, usually working on music.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really tell, but we're sitting in my home recording studio right now.
Yeah.
One of the many music rooms.
Right.
Well, I've only got 2 days. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's just 24/7. It's music, and I find time to eat and use the bathroom every now and then. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, tell me,
I won't say that.
Patti, what's your favorite band ever? If you just had to pick one.
Oh,
There's
can
so
you give
many
me a
good
genre? We'll
No.
go with that. I can do a genre maybe.
No, it's open. You just got to pick one of your favorite.
ones. That is okay. He said one of your favorite.
Okay. So growing up, Chicago was probably one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
The harmonies. But I was an Eagles fan too, so it's really hard.
Yeah.
Anything that had a lot of vocals and a lot of harmony, I was a happy person, because not only did Mom have me on stage singing like lead roles or whatever, I learned how to sing harmony, and I think I do pretty well most of the time. Chris doesn't complain too often.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he goes, "What the hell are you singing?" But
So
I
you
don't know if I can do
would say
that.
Chicago?
if I just had to pull one out of thin air, that's probably the most influential in when I was super young.
Yeah.
Obviously, Fleetwood Mac was always there for me, but as far as music, the actual music that they made was amazing.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Zeppelin guy from the very beginning, but I love Chicago. Their songs were so beautiful. They just got some great stuff. I love Chicago, but yeah, I know what you're saying. What about you, Chris?
Wow, there's so many.
I know.
I'm a big fan of Chicago. As far as my writing, I would say the biggest influence on my writing would be King's X.
Really?
And I was a huge King's X fan all the way back to 1988 when they first kind of burst on the scene. They introduced me to drop D tuning, and I've been ruined ever since. And just Ty Tabor's guitar playing it's just right in my wheelhouse. But growing up, it was Boston. Love Boston.
Yeah.
I'm a Boston nerd. I know everything about that band there is to know.
Really?
So one thing you don't know about Chris, I should have said, this is probably the quirkiest thing. Chris is a walking encyclopedia of music. He knows the albums, the year released, the band, who's in the band. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does. And I'm because I can't remember lyrics. I'm always overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I have a trick with remembering lyrics. She hasn't done the trick yet.
You haven't taught me the trick.
It seems to me that looking back, kids that grew up in particularly the 70s and probably some of the 80s, especially the 70s because of vinyl. Because when we would buy vinyl, you got, the sleeve, the liner notes, booklets,
Yep.
you got all that material, and we studied it. We sat down and we listened to the album, and we actually studied that album, the album cover, the everything about that album. And so we learned so much. Then, later on, with 8 tracks and cassettes, and later on DVD, CDs. You didn't get all that. A little bit.
The cassettes have those little books.
Yeah.
In there.
You know, here's the funny thing about that. So back in the day when you would buy vinyl, you would get all that stuff, right?
Right.
And you would pay extra buck, but
Right.
you were happy to do it. You were happy to pay that extra money, but what that did is that supported the tour for these bands. So when you went to the concerts, the tickets were dirt cheap.
Right.
My first concert was 1980. I was 8 years old, and it was the Texas Jam. I mean, that's a hell of a first concert.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was $4 to get in that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And with the advent of the cell phone and Napster and download, now these bands have to stay on the road an extra 3 months in order to make a profit, either for themselves or for the label.
Right.
And songs are only 99 cents. I mean, I understand it's easier to download an MP3 and it doesn't take up room, but the flip side of that is like you said, you got all this extra stuff.
Right.
And every once in a while, a band would do something. Maybe they would autograph something and put it in the sleeve, and they wouldn't tell you.
Right.
You know, I miss those days.
Or you got the B-side or these deep tracks that they never intended to be released, and all of a sudden they're popular, and you're going, yeah, but I knew this one back then. So, yeah.
Oh, let me show you guys something. Hang on. Let me show you. So along those same lines is, and they don't pay me to say this, but you know, Rolling Stone magazine, I mean, I have bought subscriptions to Rolling Stone magazine for friends that, you know, in the music business, and because, you know, I don't always agree with them, with their editorial, but some of the stories are really good and informative. But I found this magazine called Classic Rock, and it comes out of Europe. And the cool thing about this magazine compared to like Rolling Stone magazine is this magazine, you don't get any politics. You know, you get just raw music articles about the bands. You get the heavyweights. You get the Zeppelin, the Beck, you know, the Page, the Squire. You get those guys, but then you also get the littler bands, you know, the up and comings, and then they include a CD with every issue of new music that's out there. And I love this magazine. Now it's pricey; it's a little bit pricey. Like the printed version is like a little over $100 a year, but still, you know,
that's only like $8 and change a month.
It's still cheap. You're right, Chris. So I love this magazine compared to Rolling Stone, and you get so much more. And it reminds me of getting the album. So when I get this, it's in a plastic wrapper, okay? And so you rip that open and you look in, you get the CD and you get the whole stuff. And there's always stuff they're putting their little booklets and stuff about. They'll do a little booklet about a particular band, and it has all these facts. I love it. So anyway, that reminds me of the old, you know, LPs and the albums and all the extra stuff they would do. So I really try to promote Classic Rock magazine when I get an opportunity, even though they don't pay me a dime to say that.
That's okay. That's a good thing, though.
Hey, I want to
really like
do what?
That means you really like it. So you're endorsing the product that you really like.
Yeah, if you like music, Classic Rock magazine. Yeah. So I know you guys are pretty close, you and Jimmy and Chris, Patti. And so tell me something that's happened during a performance that just cracks you guys up every time you think about it. Something's happened. I know something has happened.
What did
Somebody
I say?
probably screwed up really bad, or something's happened.
I can't remember. It's the Lionel Richie song. What song is that we do?
Oh, Stuck on You.
Stuck on You. And I don't remember what I said, but I reversed the words.
Oh, there's no song.
Oh, God. It was dirty. I don't remember what I said. On the song Stuck on You, I said something deep inside my hole. That's what I said. Deep inside my hole.
Yeah, the lyric is deep inside my soul. And she's on stage and she just blaring deep inside my hole. And Jimmy and I are like,
And what's better is my 90-year-old father was in the audience who taught me how to cuss, but he sat there and went, "Ooh, did she say?" I kept singing, but I giggled a lot through that song, and I thought Jimmy actually might quit playing. He was laughing so hard.
Will you do me a favor and do it with those lyrics real quick?
We sure can.
I want to hear it. I want you to sing the
I
lyrics.
don't have the lyrics in front of me. Oh, great. No, they're on the phone. Anyway, okay.
Okay, sing the wrong lyrics, just like you did that night. This is awesome.
Look on you. I got this feeling down deep in my hole. I can't do it.
That sounds like a segue to a really bad commercial.
And it was the opening song.
It's like you're watching Monday Night Football and it goes to commercial. Here's what I do for my constipation. Got this feeling down deep in my hole and I just can't.
Oh, that cracks me.
Oh my God.
I think we just made $1 million.
Chris, I bet you and Jimmy.
What's that?
I bet you and Jimmy were like dying.
Oh no, I was acting it on.
I was dying.
Nerves are still right here.
Oh, now wait. You were doing a Saving Yesterday show at Eagle's Nest, and you lost it on stage, and the whole band.
Yeah.
I don't know what you started laughing at. Chris never loses it in the middle of the song. He lost it. Stop playing.
Yeah, I called time out on stage.
And his band looked at him like,
No. The whole bar looked at me like,
what the hell?
What happened? What happened?
I don't remember. It was a girl dancing. That's what.
Yeah. So we're not going to name names, but she's a
sweet person.
Sweet person, loyal supporter, but she was in rare form, and she killed a few brain cells that night, and she Johnny fevered something, and I just lost my shit, and I couldn't handle it.
I was sitting at the bar laughing at the same time. That was part of the problem. And she was between he and I'm sitting at the bar laughing, and he looked at me, looked at her, laughed, and just it went.
I fell about knee deep into stupid, and I couldn't get up, man. It was over.
Wow.
And that, honestly, that never happens. He really just is always, he may be goofy and silly and funny, but he's always a professional and always gets through the song. He may not let his singer get through the song. But he gets through it.
Hey, guys.
So we always have a good time.
It's about time to start closing, but what I want you guys to do is promote your bands. Chris, the Time Thief, your own original stuff, and then Little Skinner and you guys, and Midnight Blue. Talk about the websites where people reach out to you guys. Do all that, will you?
So Midnight Blue is on Facebook. It's called Midnight Blue Acoustic. Make sure you have the acoustic in there because you'll find the old links to the old band. We are, as of COVID, we kind of lost a lot of gigs, so we're in the process of rebuilding, trying to get our gigs back. Then Little Skinner, we're kind of in the same boat. The whole band is not together until like August at this stage, but the band without the Honkettes will be performing a couple of smaller venues because they can't fit 7 people on stage.
Right.
So that's kind of where we end up with that. But, and then that's it for me.
Time Thief has a website, timethiefrocks.com.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're obviously on Facebook. And Saving Yesterday, we're just on Facebook. We spend all of our money on fancy guitars and fancy gear, so we don't have a website. It's just Saving Yesterday, Texas. You'll see this ugly mug. Can't miss it. My glow-in-the-dark beard.
Wine, Women, and Song, right? You didn't blow it on Wine, Women, and Song?
No, on guitars. Pretty much guitars and guitar amps.
What kind of music is Saving Yesterday do?
Saving Yesterday is rock and pop from the 70s on up.
Okay.
You might catch Prince, Metallica, and Jimmy Buffett all in the same set.
And always Alice in Chains.
That's quite.
We have absolutely no earthly idea what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, he does. He always knows what he's doing.
That story
He makes it seem like he makes it
Patti
seem
messed
easy.
up those lyrics. I'll never forget that.
Neither will I.
I wish
Neither
that
will
was
now.
on
She's
video.
not feeling in her hole right now.
I'm going to close, but will you play a song at the end?
Sure.
Okay, y'all figure out what you're going to play, and I'm going to close. All right. So, guys, be sure to check out all of my shows, including my Daily Dose of Rock History on YouTube. Search for Barside Jive Live. I want to thank Jay and Jimmy, our production team, for all the hard work they do behind the scenes to make us look good.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Or not. Depends on the mood. Hey, be sure to check out my YouTube channel for my sheltered in place extreme isolation videos. There's a few there. And kiddies, we are done. I want to thank Chris and Patti, Midnight Blue, for showing up tonight and giving us a great time. I want to thank you for hanging out with us this evening. We totally appreciate your support of what we're doing here and hope that you'll share us with your friends, your family, and your followers. Until next time, be kind to one another. Please be patient. This is almost over, I believe. Keep it real and keep on rocking. And here they are one more time. Midnight Blue.
I know what you're doing. It won't be clear. All it takes is say me. Like a good place to hear. Really early going. Ocean on star. Life goes fast around you. Every good by far. Baby, you're the future. So complete, so must have been like yesterday. Baby, I want nothing to do that money. High, really can't be serious. Have to ask you die. I say goodbye. I am barely breathing. I can't find the air. There's no one inside me. I can't stay waiting. Everyone keeps asking, what it's about. Used to be so certain, but now I can get out. What is this attraction? I only feel you singing, gonna let you become I'm barely breathing. I can't find the air. Don't know why I'm I can stand waiting for another day. We're down in the hole. Look at it. It was a full day today. Don't you find a man never knows. It's mine. Every time because I am barely breathing. I can't find. I lost it.
That is
I'm
so
barely
good.
breathing.
You guys have been a blast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. We'll do it again too when I get you guys in the studio. Jimmy. And thank you again so much for taking the time to do it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
We'll see you guys down the road. Be careful.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, but I got to turn it off.
I build my world around you. I need you so, baby, even though you don't need me now. Hit me with your best shot. Come on, hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
That saves me, and after all, you're my wonder. Maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me.
Have mercy.
That's BarsideJiveLive.com.
The zoo gives you rock for the senses. Lows that evolve into highs that pierce.